Welcome to CSCP Simplified, a free structured module by module training series designed to help you prepare confidently for the CSCP certification exam. There is almost no quality free content for CSCP aspirants on YouTube today. Paid programs cost anywhere from 1 to 2.5 lakh rupees, putting this certification out of reach for many deserving professionals. This channel exists to change that. Everything here is free, everything is structured, and everything is taught from real professional experience, not just from a textbook. Let's get into it. Before we dive into content, let me tell you why you can trust what you learn here. CSCP Simplified is created by a supply chain and a program management professional who holds the CSCP certification along with PMP, PMI ACP, Safe Agilist, and several Azure credentials. This is not a channel run by someone who simply read the study material. The concepts you'll learn here are backed by real experience working in global supply chain and enterprise operations at organizations like Maersk, one of the world's largest shipping and logistics companies, and Cerner, a global leader in healthcare IT. The tools covered in this series: demand planning, S&OP, inventory management, supplier relationships, supply chain technology, are tools your mentor has worked with hands-on, including SAP IBP, Salesforce CRM, and enterprise data platforms. When you study with CSCP Simplified, you're not just learning what the exam says, you're learning how it actually works in the real world. That combination is what this channel is built on. Here's the reality of CSCP preparation in India today. The official ASCM learning system, coaching programs, and exam fees can collectively cost anywhere between 1 and 2.5 lakh rupees. For many supply chain professionals, especially those early in their careers, that is a significant barrier. And if you turn to YouTube looking for a free alternative, you'll find almost nothing structured. A few short videos, some outdated content, nothing that walks you through the full syllabus, topic by topic, in the depth the exam actually demands. CSCP Simplified is built to close that gap completely. By the time this series is finished, you will have a full structured preparation resource covering every major topic tested in the CSCP exam, entirely for free. So what is CSCP? CSCP stands for Certified Supply Chain Professional. It is a globally recognized certification administered by ASCM, the Association for Supply Chain Management, which was formerly known as APICS. At its core, the CSCP is designed for professionals who want to demonstrate that they understand the supply chain end to end. Not just one function, not just one industry, but the entire system, from supplier to customer. Think of it this way: most professionals in supply chain become very good at one piece, like procurement or logistics or planning. The CSCP says, I understand all of it and how each piece connects to the others. That systems level thinking is exactly what senior roles in supply chain, operations, and program management require. And that's what this certification validates. Let me give you a real world analogy to make this concrete. When I worked in a global logistics environment, a single shipment involved dozens of decisions happening simultaneously: supplier readiness, customs clearance, port scheduling, inland transport, last mile delivery, and customer communication. Each of those decisions was owned by a different team in a different country using different systems. The CSCP teaches you to see that entire picture: how the design of a supply chain, the planning processes behind it, and the continuous improvement of those processes all connect. That's the lens this certification trains you to use. And once you develop that lens, your value as a professional in any industry increases significantly. Why should you invest time in pursuing the CSCP? Three reasons. First, global recognition. The CSCP is respected across manufacturing, retail, healthcare, technology, and logistics worldwide. It is not limited to one geography or one sector. Second, career differentiation. In competitive hiring environments, the CSCP signals that you think at a systems level. Recruiters and hiring managers in senior supply chain, operations, and program management roles actively look for it. Third, the salary impact. Certified professionals consistently report earning premiums over non-certified peers. For working professionals in India, targeting senior individual contributor or leadership roles, the return on the time you invest in CSCP preparation is very real. The certification pays for itself, often within a single promotion cycle. The CSCP is designed for professionals with meaningful work experience in or adjacent to supply chain functions. If you are a supply chain analyst, procurement manager, logistics coordinator, demand planner, or inventory manager, this certification was built for you. But it's also highly relevant for IT professionals working on ERP implementations, SAP, Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics, because supply chain systems are deeply embedded in enterprise technology. Program managers and business analysts who work at the intersection of operations and technology will find that the CSCP validates and formalizes knowledge they already apply every day. If you are in any of these roles and you want to move up or move across into supply chain from an adjacent field, the CSCP is one of the clearest paths forward. To sit for the CSCP exam, ASCM requires you to meet one of the two eligibility criteria. If you hold a bachelor's degree or its international equivalent, you need 2 years of related business experience. If you don't hold a degree, you need 3 years of related business experience. There are no prerequisite certifications required. You do not need to hold a CPIM or other credential before sitting for the CSCP. A quick note on costs. The exam fee is approximately 1000 US dollars for a non-ASCM members. Membership reduces that. We'll do a full video on cost planning and how to approach the exam registration process later in the series. Here is the exam format you need to know. The CSCP exam has 150 multiple choice questions. You have 3.5 hours to complete it. The exam is computer based and delivered at Pearson VUE testing centers available across India in cities including Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, and Pune. The scoring scale runs from 200 to 350. The minimum passing score is 300. There is no negative marking. This is important. Never leave a question blank. If you are unsure, eliminate the weakest options and make your best choice. And here is something many aspirants underestimate. The CSCP exam is scenario based. You will not be asked to recall isolated definitions. You will be given situations and asked what the right decision is. That application level thinking is what we build in every video of this series. The CSCP exam is structured around three major content areas called Exam Content Modules or ECMs. Think of these as the three pillars of the entire exam. ECM 1 is supply chain design, how supply chains are structured, why they are designed the way they are, and how organizations make strategic supply chain decisions. ECM 2 is supply chain planning and execution, the operational engine of a supply chain, covering how demand is planned for, how inventory is managed, and how orders move from supplier to customer. ECM 3 is supply chain improvement and best practices, how organizations measure, improve, and future proof their supply chains using tools like Lean, Six Sigma, risk management, and emerging technologies. Every video in this series maps directly to one of these three ECMs. You will always know exactly where you are in the exam syllabus. Let me give you a real world feel of what ECM 1 actually covers. Supply chain design is about the big structural questions. Should we manufacture this component ourselves or buy it from a supplier? Should our warehouse be in Chennai or closer to the port in Mumbai? Should we use a single global supplier or build a regional supplier network for resilience? These are make or buy decisions, network design decisions, and sourcing strategy decisions, and they shape everything downstream. I've seen these decisions play out directly in global logistics environments where getting the network design wrong by even one node added days of transit time and millions in costs. ECM 1 gives you the frameworks to evaluate these decisions systematically. That's what we'll build in the ECM 1 videos. ECM 2 is where supply chain gets operational. This is the module that covers how a supply chain actually runs day to day. It starts with sales and operations planning. the process by which a company aligns what it expects to sell with what it can actually produce and deliver. I worked in environments where S&OP was the single most important monthly process in the organization. Because when it breaks down, inventory piles up in the wrong place. Customers miss deliveries, and cash flow suffers. ECM2 also covers material requirements planning, inventory positioning, transportation, and logistics management, and the technology systems ERP, WMS, TMS that execute all of these processes. If you have implemented SAP, Oracle, or any enterprise supply chain system, this module will feel very familiar. And if you haven't, this is where you'll build that operational fluency. ECM3 is where strategic thinking meets operational reality. This module covers how organizations improve their supply chains over time, not just fix problems, but build systems that get better continuously. Lean principles, Six Sigma methodology, risk management frameworks, supply chain benchmarking, and the role of emerging technologies like AI, IoT, and blockchain in supply chain, all of this lives in ECM3. From a program management perspective, this is the module that most closely mirrors with what senior program and operations leaders do every day. Identifying inefficiency, managing cross-functional change, building resilience, leading transformation initiatives. ECM3 validates exactly that kind of strategic and end-to-end thinking. For those of you with program management backgrounds, this module is where your experience gives you a genuine advantage over other candidates. A realistic question: how long does preparation actually take? Based on experience and general guidance in the supply chain certification space, most working professionals need roughly 90 to 100 hours of focused study to be exam ready. That's not passive reading, that's active study, including understanding concepts, working through practice questions, and reviewing weak areas. For someone working a full time corporate job, this typically means 3 to 4 months of consistent effort at 1 to 2 hours per day. This series is designed for exactly that schedule. One structured video per week with concept explanation, real world grounding, key term review, and original practice questions will keep you on track without overwhelming your work life. Consistency beats intensity every time when you are preparing for a professional certification exam. Here is exactly how to get the most from CSCP Simplified. Step 1. Watch in order. Every video builds on the previous one. The series is structured to mirror the actual exam content progression. Start from video 1 and go in sequence. Step 2. Take notes actively. Pause when a concept is new. Write down key terms in your own words. The act of rewriting something in your own language is one of the most effective study techniques for exam preparation. Step 3. Work through the practice questions at the end of every video. These are original scenario-based questions written in the style of the actual exam. They are not reproduced from any official question bank. They are designed to build the application level thinking the exam tests. Step 4. Use the comments section. Ask questions. Share what clicked and what didn't. Supply chain as a discipline is collaborative, and so is this channel. Here is a preview of the full series. After this video, we will move into the core content modules. We'll start with supply chains, demand management and forecasting, covering what a supply chain really is, how demand flows through it, and the forecasting techniques that drive planning decisions. From there, we'll cover global supply chain networks, sourcing and procurement, internal operations and inventory, logistics and distribution, supply chain relationships, risk management, and finally, optimization, sustainability, and technology. Every module gets its own dedicated video, and the heavier modules get multiple videos. This is a full course, not a teaser, not a highlight reel. The complete syllabus taught thoroughly for free. Here is your practice question for this episode. Question 1. A company is deciding whether to manufacture a component in-house or source it from a supplier. What type of decision is this? Your options are A. Make versus buy analysis, B. Demand forecasting, C. Supplier certification, or D. Inventory optimization? Take a moment, pause the video if you want to, and answer before moving to the next slide. The correct answer is A. Make versus buy analysis. Why A is correct? A make versus buy decision evaluates whether to produce a component internally or source it from a supplier, weighing cost, risk, quality, and strategic control. This is a core ECM1 supply chain design concept. If you got that right, well done. If not, don't worry. This is exactly the kind of decision framework we'll build on in the upcoming modules. That's video 1 done. Now you have a clear picture of what the CSCP is, why it matters, how the exam works, and how this series will take you through the entire syllabus, one module at a time. If this was useful, subscribe to this channel. It takes 2 seconds and it helps other CSCP aspirants find this content. Hit the bell so that you don't miss the next video, and drop a comment below. Tell us where you are in your journey. Just starting out, mid-preparation, or preparing for a retake? We read every comment and we build content based on what aspirants actually need. The next video has Module 1, Supply Chains, Demand Management, and Forecasting. It is one of the most foundational topics in the entire exam, and we are going to cover it properly. See you there.